So we've had a few weeks of these political party conferences. We had Labour seeing how many liars they could get into a room, and we lost count, didn't we? And last week we had the disturbing sight of the Tories having their conference. And about the only thing that they could agree with was that they all disagreed with each other. They've got no real identity, have they? You know, their only identity is who are we? And then they come up with, oh, we're going to abolish stamp duty because in central London, for instance, if you're buying an £8 million house, you need the help, don't you? Not the guy, not the lady struggling to pay the extortionate shopping bill at the end of the week or the extortionate utilities bill. No, let's cut stamp duty for multi-millionaires. It's what the people want. We're listening. This after Builder Bellway's CEO. Builder Bellway, it sounds like a BBC children's programme, doesn't it? But yeah, after Builder Bellway's CEO said that please cut stamp duty for first time buyers. Not that it'll make any difference because they haven't got the money to get the mortgage in the first place. None of these seemingly imbecilic people seem to realise just how bad things are out here. But anyway, he asked for stamp duty to be abolished for first time buyers, and that just goes to show you that the builders are really struggling too. So yeah, Kemi Badenoch promising a stamp duty free utopia for London at least, naturally. And presumably if you're a multimillionaire living in Islington, it's the tax cut you've been waiting for if you want to move house or add to your portfolio. And all we saw was the Tories trying to work out if they were populists, moderates, or a badly written sitcom. I'm going with the third. The government wants a digital ID. I've already done a full video on this, and yeah, it's tyrannical. I mean, nothing screams freedom like a chip in your pocket accessible to anyone with a password admin123 now, does it? It's a nightmare waiting to happen. You can explain to your kids one day, yes, the government tracks your every move, but trust me, children, it's for efficiency. In other news, a migrant who threatened to kill Nigel Farage and put it on TikTok and Instagram or wherever else these imbeciles post stuff, he got 5 years in prison, which was good. I'm no lover of Farage, but as soon as you start coming to this country and threatening to kill British nationals for whatever reason, away you go. He can't be deported apparently because we haven't got a deportation agreement with Afghanistan. Well, as Ben Habib suggested and various other people, then all that happens is you just cancel all Afghanistani visas. And if Pakistan are the same, you cancel them. It doesn't matter what Istan they are, or it doesn't matter where in Europe or wherever. If they won't accept their own rapists, murderers, and robbers back, then don't let them in the first place. As for those that we don't know where they're from, then prison sentences until we do. I think that's the way forward. And no concessions in prison for our Islamic friends who seem to run the show in there, from what I'm told. The country needs to start to toughen up. And with this particular migrant with an AK-47 tattooed across his cheek, probably the best place for him. We had the farce of the Tommy Robinson trial. Now, it doesn't matter what you think of Tommy Robinson, whether you're a supporter, whether you're like me. I think he's done some really good things to highlight grooming gangs. Whether you're one of these people that labels everyone far right that doesn't agree with you and you think Tommy Robinson's a racist, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what he's not. I'll tell you what they've got no evidence that he is, I'm sure, and that's that he's a terrorist. Now, he was sent to trial under Section 7 of the Terrorism Act for refusing to give the police his phone PIN. Now, he says that he's a reporter, a journalist, and that would have compromised some of his contacts, which is pretty believable. But allegedly, The phone may contain information relevant to acts of terrorism. Even the police said, doubt that it does. If I'd been Tommy, I would have just said I forgot my pin. It's happened to me at the hole in the wall. If convicted, he could face months in jail. Meanwhile, actual terrorists are probably updating their apps without a single interruption. It's efficiency, British style. That takes me back as well to the synagogue attack, where the police made a statement saying that they were formulating reasoning for the attack. The bloke was a radicalised Islamist who hated the Jews. He mounted the pavement in a car and then proceeded to stab people while shouting Allah Akbar. Now, I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, but I don't think we'll be digging up Peter Falk to get Colombo back on the case, do you? And they're formulating a reason for the attack. These people can't be that stupid. There's got to be an agenda. And then they've got the cheek to nick Tommy Robinson for not giving them his phone pin. The world's gone mad. Humza Yousaf, the former SNP First Minister of Scotland, you know him.
The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white. The Chief Constable, white.
I hear you're a racist now, Father.
Every Deputy Chief Constable, white. The head of the Law Society, white. The head of the Faculty of Advocates, white.
Should we all be racist now?
And not just Justice. The Chief Medical Officer, white. The Chief Nursing Officer, white. The Chief Veterinary Officer, white.
Only the farm takes up most of the day, and at night I just like a cup of tea. I'd like to be able to devote myself full-time to the old racism.
The Chief Social Work Advisor, white. Almost every trade union in this country headed by people who are white.
Well done, Father! Good for you!
Doesn't like people who are white because there's too many people in power who are white. Well, apparently he thinks it's okay if everyone in power is a Muslim.
I would say hand on heart now that we are at a tipping point in this country, and it's reflected in other countries as well, where we either try and do something different to try and self-organize Muslims, to represent ourselves better, to use our resources better, and to influence the countries that we live in better than we have done already. Brother Humza is a relatively rare and unique political talent. Actually, we need many more people like him at the top of government, in every government, in this country, across the 4 nations, and in other governments, that can influence, sit at the top table and make a difference on behalf of the Muslims.
He's urged British Muslims to take leadership roles in politics, media, business and civil society. Translation, get involved, make change, and maybe run Westminster before somebody accidentally passes another useless tax reform. Now, I'll be honest, I am not a fan of Islam, not a fan of religion, but I'm definitely not a fan of Islam, with its Sharia courts, with its stoning of women, with its child sex, with its worship of a warlord, with its hatred of anyone that isn't a Muslim. I could go on and on and on. And obviously, with someone who I believe to be a racist, a proper racist, like Humza Yousaf, he should never have been in a position of power. And neither should anyone who isn't a progressive Muslim. Someone that wants to live by British law, not Sharia courts, British law, and wants to get involved in British society and respect other religions, like Christians and like Jews, like Hindus and like Sikhs. Someone who will, as we do, as white and black Christians, criticise child sex paedophile rings if they're white or black. Muslim grooming gangs have to be on the table to be talked about. And while we're talking about that, Muhammad Sarwar.
Inshallah, time will come that there will be a law in place all over the world that there can be no disrespect to our beloved Holy Prophet Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And lastly, I want to say, as Brother Imam Qasim has said, that we love our beloved Prophet more than our parents, than our daughters, than our sisters, than our sons. So there is no way. The message is loud and clear from the people in Glasgow, Scotland, and 1.5 billion Muslims all over the world, that any disrespect to our beloved Prophet and any burning of Holy Quran will be unacceptable, intolerable, and the Muslims will not tolerate this. And inshallah, I am sure that we'll be able to pass the law with United Nations and with European Union, that in future, if anybody commits this crime, they will be prosecuted and brought to justice.
Yes, Anas Sarwar's dad, leader of the Scottish Labour Party.
Every chief executive of every council and every government department, white. Every director of a department in Scotland, white. Every principal of a college or university in Scotland, white. Every head teacher in Scotland, white. Every chair of a public sector body in Scotland, white. Every High Court judge in Scotland, white. Every prison governor in Scotland, white. Every editor of a news organisation in Scotland, white. Why?
He wants a blasphemy law for Islam in this country and all over the world. In my estimations, an absolute nutcase, an enemy to free speech. Why are we putting up with these people? Why is he not being arrested for potential breach of the peace? Because most people I know are offended by hearing that sort of rhetoric. And if we need a government that lurches to the right to protect freedom of speech, then so be it. I was chuffed when the guy that burnt the Quran got off on appeal. And don't get me wrong, I don't advocate the burning of any religious book, but I don't think it should be an offence. We need to progress past that. And freedom of expression, one of the things our forefathers and mothers fought for, lost their lives for, must be paramount. Whether you're a far left nutter or a far right nutter, unless you're inciting hatred or unless you're advocating violence, which some of these imams do and get away with, then you should be able to say or do what you want. Drawing insulting cartoons to a prophet who may or may not have lived and who certainly doesn't fit in with any civilised society shouldn't be an offence. End of. Let me know what you think. Over in America, Trump ignoring Starmer. Well, I wish we all could, don't you? I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump, but I tell you what, that was funny. And he's giving out medals left, right and centre. I don't even know what people are getting medals for now. Shutting down programmes because some are democratic things and lobbying for AI regulation or deregulation or whatever. I don't even understand it, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, the good thing about Donald Trump that's newsworthy in my opinion is just ignoring Keir Starmer. So that was the week in politics. Conservatives debating who they are, digital IDs creeping upon us, Farage getting fast justice, Robinson forgetting his pin, calls for blasphemy laws, and Trump still running America like a circus.